As a teenager, Sarah always loved exploring abandoned places. She had heard about the old mansion on the outskirts of town and decided to check it out. Her friends warned her about the rumors of it being haunted, but Sarah dismissed them as mere superstitions. As she stepped into the mansion, she immediately noticed how eerie the atmosphere was. The furniture was covered in dust, cobwebs adorned the corners, and the walls were peeling. Nevertheless, Sarah persisted and began to explore the mansion. After a while, she found herself in the basement. The air was cold, and the only light came from her flashlight. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. She spun around, but there was no one there. She shrugged it off and continued exploring. As she turned a corner, she saw a figure standing in front of her. It was a woman dressed in Victorian clothing, and her hair was tied up in a bun. Sarah froze in fear as the woman began to walk towards her. The woman's eyes were empty, and she looked like she was floating above the ground. Suddenly, Sarah felt a cold breeze brush past her. The woman disappeared, and Sarah heard the sound of whispering. She couldn't make out what was being said, but it sounded like a chant. Panicked, Sarah tried to leave the basement, but the door was locked. She heard the sound of footsteps getting closer, and the chanting became louder. Then she saw the woman again, standing in front of her. This time, Sarah could see her face, and it was covered in scars. Sarah screamed and tried to run, but the woman grabbed her by the arm. Sarah felt a jolt of electricity run through her body as she was pulled towards the woman. She was consumed by darkness, and everything went quiet. The next morning, Sarah's friends found her lying unconscious in the basement of the old mansion. They rushed her to the hospital, but she never woke up. Her body was unmarked, but her mind was gone. To this day, people say that the old mansion is haunted by the woman in the basement, and Sarah's story is a warning to anyone who dares to enter.